Hi, everybody. My name is Victor Brick. We want to thank everybody for getting on. We're sorry that you couldn't be here in person in Palm Beach at the Breakers, but we're glad that you're tuning in to this fireside chat with Chris Rondeau, the CEO of Planet Fitness. My name is Victor Brick. I'm the founder of the John W. Brick Mental Health Foundation. I'm also a Planet Fitness franchisee, and it is my great pleasure to conduct this fireside chat with Chris Rondeau, as I said, who is the CEO of Planet Fitness. And Planet Fitness is one of the largest health clubs in the world, with over 2,000 clubs around the world and approaching 15 million members. Chris has been with Planet Fitness for 27 years, starting at the service desk, right, Chris? And being one of the original founders with Mike and Mark Rondeau, and has been the CEO for Planet Fitness since 2013 and helped take the company public in 2015. And I'm proud to say I knew you in, huh, Chris? Way back in the day.
All the time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
It's a pleasure to do this today.
Great. So thank you for participating and for giving us your time. And I'd like to start off by, a lot of people, as you know, are in both the fitness industry, of which, of course, I'm a part, and the global wellness industry, of course, with I'm a part, don't always see the connection between these two. And it's global wellness community combined of a multiple industries, and fitness industry being one of them. So how do you see fitness contributing to wellness?
Yeah, that's a good question, Victor. And, you know, when you think about fitness as a whole, we really are, I feel, as an integral part of the healthcare delivery system. And we're not even just a leg of that stool, Victor. We're actually probably the first leg of that stool on the healthcare delivery system. We're about preventative healthcare, keeping people healthy, giving them a better life. And it's really about well-being. And today more than ever with COVID, you know, I think we've seen the unfortunate impact it has on people with pre-existing conditions. And fitness is really just an important part in gyms and health clubs and fitness centers are a piece of that, you know. And with almost 15 million members, as you mentioned, just Planet alone, we're almost more in the healthcare world than we are the gym business.
I couldn't agree more. I think, I'm sure you'll agree with me, that people think of wellness sometimes as an absence of disease, when in reality, wellness, of course, is more of a quality of life. And so how does fitness play into that?
Yeah, I mean, it's being, right? Living the best life you can. And there's a big survey done of reasons that people exercise today. And of all generations, Gen Z, Gen X, millennials, and boomers, well-being was number one reason for exercise. Number one. It wasn't about like the old days of, it's about getting bigger for men, and for women, it was about losing weight. It's about well-being. And the byproduct is you're a healthier person physically from that.
Yeah, when you and I got started, and we both been in the industry over 30 years ago, it was all about appearance, wasn't it? Men wanted to get bigger, women wanted to get smaller, had group exercise, hence the weight loss.
Beach body, right? Beach body, but being a beach body, right?
Yeah,
Get ready.
Exactly.
Now it's all about how do you live a better, happier life? Reason that.
And so how is Planet Fitness a little bit unique in their approach to that concept of feeling good about yourself and feeling a little bit better and healthy?
Yeah. I think we look at our model, and it comes back to our model, the judgment-free zone, right? And we designed this business back in the 90s, and it was about catering to the part of the population of the U.S. that didn't belong to a gym. And today, believe it or not, 80% of the U.S. population does not belong to a gym. 80%. And you can make a case, Victor, if it was the other way around, that only 20% didn't belong to a gym. With COVID-19, we may not be here as a country if everybody was that much healthier, right? Right? 70% of U.S. adults are overweight or obese. 40% are obese, which leads to chronic heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, going on the list, right? So 80% of the population doesn't belong to a gym. Planet Fitness's goal was how do we make it attainable and accessible to everybody? We dropped the price to $10 a month, so anybody can be a part of a gym. And the judgment-free zone is making it comfortable for first-timers and casual gym goers. And 40% of our almost 15 million members, 40%, have never belonged to a gym in their entire life.
So statistically, physical activity is given as one of the four risks of lack of physical activity is one of the four risks for chronic disease. And by what you just said, 80% not just belonging to a gym, it's stated that 80% of the American population does not get the recommended amount of physical activity. So it almost exactly matches the percentage of the gym goers. Mm-hmm. So when you...
You're very true.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And when you think about it is, well, people can run outside or walk outside. Well, sometimes it's not as easy as it sounds, right? Whether it's too cold outside, or there's safety issues with outside, or some people don't have the money for the apparatus for their home, or don't have the space in their house. Not everybody's got a basement or a spare bedroom, right? So health clubs as a whole fills that for everyone.
Great. And as I said, I come from both sides of the discussion. Historically, did people in the fitness industry consider themselves wellness? And historically, do you think people in the wellness community considered fitness and exercise and physical fitness centers part of their community, or was this this silo thinking that one's group over here, one group's over here?
I think over the last decade or so, the industry has matured a lot, and I believe we as an industry have realized that we play a bigger role in this wellness world. And really, I think evidently the last 8 months, we really realized the place that we play. I think the unfortunate thing is, as an industry, and no fault but our own, is I think we should have been more vocal for decades about our place in healthcare and our place in keeping people healthy, and not waiting till they end up in the hospital, having to go to the doctor. And, I think going forward, it's our duty to be more vocal and get the attention that's really necessary for government officials in the population to realize, like, people have got to get physical. It's not just American Heart Association making a statement about physical activity and exercise. It's like, as an industry, we've got to be more vocal about why we exist. I mean, what other business in the country that the sole purpose is we turn the lights on every single day? Planet Fitness, most of them are 24 hours, so we just keep the lights on, right? That our sole purpose is to enhance people's lives. Our sole purpose is to be sure that people's well-being is the best it can be. And not many businesses are open for that purpose. That's our number one purpose for our customers.
Yeah, and that's, I would say, should be and is for many industry-wide.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's funny, or not funny, but along the lines of what you're saying, again, from the CDC, they state that at least 1.5 million deaths could be avoided every year simply by more activity. Now think about that. Mm-hmm. That is more than will die of COVID this year. Mm-hmm. And yet they're closing fitness centers and other wellness facilities that aid in this exact same thing, which is, of course, health and well-being, building immunity, building resilience. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact, because I was a recipient of it, and that is, of course, the club closures, the gym closures. It was devastating, I'm sure you'll agree, and it came out of nowhere. And 1 minute we're toasting the best January we've ever had in the history of the company, and in many ways the history of the industry, and probably wellness across the board. And the next month or month and a half, we're closing our doors. We go from record revenues and attendance and participation to zero. Plain flat zero across the board. So what did Planet Fitness do? How did they, quote, pivot, as everyone refers to it, to keep their members engaged and to be able to provide the essential service of fitness, movement, health, and well-being at a time when they needed it the most and when they could get it the least?
Yeah, it's funny when you think back now. It feels like it was 8 years ago, and it was 8 months ago, right? It was.
My bank account doesn't feel like it was 8 months ago.
No.
I mean, 8 years ago.
Eye-opening, really, right? Really eye-opening. It's counterproductive in my eyes, right? I mean, it seems like the one thing that could have helped fight this all along was one of the things that was gone after, next to nightclubs and bars and movie theaters. So it seems counterproductive, which in the future, we'll talk about that probably in a minute. But what we did is plan. We shut all our doors in March. All 2,000 stores we shut down the end of March. Within 48 hours, we launched a United We Move campaign, which was a Facebook Live workout videos every night at 7:00 p.m. to everybody for free, members, non-members alike. And the engagement was incredible. To date, right now, we've got over 48 million views of these videos in 24 countries. We just opened the door.
That's impressive.
Yeah, unbelievable. And we had our app that was even launched pre-COVID. We launched it about 18 months ago now. And we launched it originally, Victor, because we would see people in our gyms following routines on their phone that they were finding in other third-party apps. They weren't getting it from Planet Fitness's app. So it felt like it was our duty. Why don't we supplying our members with content to get them to exercise in our clubs as opposed to finding it elsewhere? And luckily we did that because we didn't know COVID was around the corner and the content was being consumed. And then all of a sudden our doors shut, our content consumption in our app skyrocketed overnight. People were in the app, doing stuff at home and using the app, which then led to our iFit partnership to even produce even better enhanced content for people to use, just better quality, better workouts so people could keep active at home. It was all free, members and non-members. And 24% of the consumption of the content were non-members of Planet Fitness. We have 6 million downloads. About 1 million downloads are non-members of PF that are coming to us as a trusted source of wellness to learn how to stay active at home. So, it was a great thing, a big learning experience for us. We probably learned in the last 8 months, what probably would have taken us 3 or 4 years to get our minds around as far as the consumption. And there's been a lot of studies on this, that people have adapted to digital. And I say digital content or digital when it comes to fitness. I'm not saying just at home. Digital is just more education and how to get the most of your physical activity. Whether you're at home, you're in gym, you're walking or running outside. If people will, I think, use digital now more than ever and forever forward to better their workout experience and learn how to exercise. If you go back when we started this industry, Victor, the only way you could learn to work out was either Muscle and Fitness magazine. Internet didn't exist, right? Muscle and Fitness magazine, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding,
Which I have.
Right? Or you had to hire a trainer.
And Bill Pearl.
Or hire a trainer, right? And now you have so much at your fingertips. I mean, wearables. I mean, where did that come from out of nowhere? That people are not watching their steps, they're tracking their heart rate, right? So how can we help people's experience get better and learn how to exercise, get more out of it, so they don't get bored and they get better results and they stay more fit? And so the whole COVID thing has brought the industry, I think, to a different level. Planet itself is like, we've learned so much and put even more focus on the digital world and how to give people the most benefit out of their membership in club, learn how to use more of the equipment to stay active. If they can't make it to the gym today, no worries, we can take care of it at home as well. So we learned a lot, and glad we did so. In our commercials, we never really highlighted our cleanliness in our clubs, and we've been meticulously cleaning our clubs, that, Victor, forever in our clubs. But I guess we took it for granted. We didn't pat ourselves on the back. And now in our commercials, we highlight how clean our clubs are. We highlight our disinfectant that we've had forever. For decades, we've had disinfectant in our clubs to clean our equipment and Planet Fitness. We never even highlighted that. For me, it was kind of like, we're so close to it. Well, should it be clean? Of course. But we're telling the world that we are. And we've had some great advertising lately that's really worked well for us. Even during the mix of all this, people are joining the clubs at almost the same rate they were last year. People are ready to get active. And I think coming out of this, people have a renewed sense of importance around wellness. And they realize, I've been told for 2 decades or 3 decades that I better take better care of myself. Now it's evident. I better listen.
And don't you agree? Because as I say, we're talking to the wellness community. Don't you agree that this transcends fitness? People are more about being healthy, exercising, mind, body, relax, recovery through massage and yoga and all of these things. People are much more aware, and whoever's in the business in that anywhere in that industry in the entire wellness community needs to be looking at ways they can have their online presence. They promote their sanitation and cleanliness, and they make sure they're on point, because people have standards are a lot higher than they used to be.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah,
right.
And I think the whole meditation, well-being, and mental awareness, all that's going to be a big part going forward, especially coming out of reports are unfortunate. The reports that we see about mental illness coming out of the COVID-2 is going to be really important that we all play our part to help get rid of that and help with that.
So that brings us to our next question, a lead in right into it, and that is, what do you see as the future of the fitness industry? What's the industry going to look like moving forward, and how does that play into wellness as a whole?
Yeah, I think going forward now, Planet for sure will always be way more vocal on how we play our part in the healthcare delivery system. And, the fact that we're put into leisure and hospitality as an industry makes no sense, right? I mean, we are more healthcare than a casino or a hotel or resort, right? I mean, the fact that we're bundled in that makes no sense to us.
Right.
So we got to be more vocal on what we do for the world, what we do for communities. How do we get more people off the couch? How do we get it not to be 80-20 and 20% belong to a gym? How do we get it to be 20-80 and 80% belong to a gym? And I think we're going to be more vocal with the governments, more vocal with insurance companies, more vocal with corporations, that we've got to get people healthy and get them off the couch. Increases productivity, your work from home, your sick pay. I mean, it helps the world really just be better at what they do, and the wellness and dealing with stress and mental illness and physical fitness. So for me, it's really going to be vocal going forward, to really play a big part in making sure that we have the attention as an industry that we deserve. And on top of that, like I said earlier, people have a more, I think, renewed sense of importance of wellness. I think the tailwind the industry has in wellness as a whole, on eating better, on meditation, on well-being, on fitness, that's probably accelerated greatly. And I think we're already kind of getting there, Victor, with just the apps and all the content consumption where you couldn't, with wearables. I mean, it's in your face every day. And I think now people realize, okay, I've got to really start paying attention. I think COVID's done that for sure. I think going forward in our commercials and our advertising, we'll probably feature more of our clinics and feature more benefits of exercise. Before it was more price and equipment. Well, now price is important, but you pay anything if you knew you were going to be healthy at the end of the day, right? But how do we get more people to really pay attention, get people off the couch? So I think we as an industry are going to come together and really preach that. But digital fitness will definitely not go away. I think it'll be used. To make most of your exercise and most of your fitness, and more benefits and more results from your exercise.
So that brings us to the final two questions, because as usual, we're running out of time before we run out of content. First, we've talked a lot about change, but as Jim Collins said in Good to Great, any great company and industry, I truly believe, has to be committed to change while preserving the core. So what are some of the core elements that Planet Fitness, the fitness industry, and wellness need to retain in order to be relevant? And then the second question I want you to have, because we only have about a minute or two left, is what role will technology play in that first question about what should we retain?
I think as an industry, we've gotten light years better over the last decade or so. Much more sophisticated operations, much more updated equipment, much more updated clubs, much cleaner clubs than they ever been. So that will be something that will play a big part in our industry going forward, for sure. And for Planet Fitness is really, we really commoditize fitness. $10 a month, anybody can attain a gym membership at Planet Fitness. Anybody can really come in and join our clubs, and we can open the door to get anybody off the couch to join. As far as digital fitness, what I like about it, Victor, is that as an industry, we unlock our doors and people use our facilities. We really don't know what people necessarily do that drives results and drives stickiness to continue to work out. If two people join the same day and they're the same, they're both males, they're both 35 years old, and one stays 3 years or makes it a lifestyle change, and one stays 3 months and falls back to the couch, we don't know what the journey did that other guy take that made him stay here for 3 years. What did he touch? What equipment did he use? What workouts did he like? For us to be able to real time learning on what people like by like person, then we can recommend the next join. You want to try this workout, or you want to try this machine because we know you're going to like it. There's 3 million other people just like you love this machine or love this workout. Right. So we can start do real time learning and guide people on their journeys before they even know what they're going to like. We're going to know what they like, because digital and technology is going to teach us that, which we've never had that in our
right. Okay, so in the last 30 seconds, I just want to ask you if you agree with my perception. That is one of the things we need to keep is that personal touch and that sense of community and connectivity that can never be duplicated with online. online has a role, but at the end of the day, kissing babies, shaking hands. A guy once told me, one of the health club owners in Scotland or something, health club industry is all about the hellos and the goodbyes. And I propose, and I think Planet Fitness is an example, and I'm sure you'll agree.
We naturally, being in the industry, I naturally have a great home gym, right? It's all commercial equipment,
right.
And it's plenty big enough.
Right.
I still go to my local Planet.
Right.
Why? It's the energy, it's the camaraderie, it's the hellos, and it's the goodbyes. I still rather go to my local Planet and go in my basement any day of the week.
Right. Okay, so with that, Chris, we've run out of time. We appreciate you calling in. I know you wish you could have been there, but as the CEO of a public company, sometimes higher authorities call, and we wish you the best, because if you do well, I do well. And I think that it's pretty clear that the fitness industry and the wellness community are one and the same, and fitness is an industry which is part of the wellness community. So absolutely. Any closing remarks?
No, absolutely. I was taking everybody's time today, and wish I could have made it up. We're home being Hampshire. I'd rather be down in Florida, trust me. So thanks for everybody's time today, and hope you enjoyed the talk. Thank you, Vic.
Okay, and hopefully everybody will be together next year in person at the Global Wellness Summit. Yeah. Have a great day, everyone. God bless.
Bye now.
Fantastic. Victor, well done. Well done. You have a lot of talents. We have Chris with us, Chris Rondeau, and we have, of course, Anna Bjurstrom back. Chris, thank you. Got a rousing round of applause. That was fantastic. And I want to just take a moment, we put the lights up for a minute, to let you know we've got our own little Planet Fitness Club going on here. We have reset the way we do meetings, and I hope you can see, thanks to Victor and Len, who brought in Planet Fitness equipment, we've got people on bikes and ellipticals and stability balls and all kinds of things as a way to keep moving while we are at this meeting. So you have, just think about that as a new business plan.
Excellent, great.
We've really enjoyed it. So, okay, I'm going to open it up to questions. Any in the room first, or we'll go, we've got one right up front from Rick Stolmeyer of MindBody. Rick?
Hey, Chris, I really enjoyed the interview. Thank you for doing that. And congrats on leading Planet Fitness through a very challenging year. You guys are doing remarkably strong. I'm actually, this is a question and suggestion. Have you heard of the Community Gyms Coalition? And this idea is leaders in the industry lobbying government leaders in Congress and the new president regarding everything you just said, how important fitness is. Let's not shut these businesses down that are actually improving people's well-being. So are you willing to get involved in that?
That's a great question, and thanks, Rick. Yeah, I have not heard of that one particularly, but it's something I would for sure like to learn more about. There's no doubt, and I mentioned in my talk, is that, unfortunately, as an industry, the gym industry, we definitely didn't push to get attention like we should have in the past. And forever forward, Planet for sure will always be making sure that we are front and center, and really truly explain to the world, and especially the government officials, our place in the world, and really our business and what it does. And there's not many businesses out there, as you can think of, that our sole purpose that we turn the lights on every day is to improve people's lives and well-being and mental health and physical health. And not many people turn the lights on every day to do just that. So the fact that this would not be considered essential and really help school the world into making sure they take better care of themselves, and include exercise and better eating and so on in the future. We've always heard about it, but it's always been in passing, and unfortunately all too many didn't take it as serious as they should have. And then you see the unfortunate illnesses, and the severe ones that are caused through this COVID crisis. Unfortunately, we're paying the price for that. And going forward, I'd like to learn more on that and play part if I could.
Chris, thank you so much. We're going to go to a question from our online global group. Anna?
Yes, I have from Emilia Morana Williams. 80% of Americans might not belong to a gym, but many people have fitness routines that do not require them to go to a gym, running, yoga, etc. How will Planet Fitness role change in the post-pandemic period as people are more confident exercising on their own and are hesitant to return to an enclosed shared space.
Sure, yeah, and I believe, I mean, there's always a people that will work out at home or work out outside, and that won't change. And I think this COVID pandemic is definitely, as I said in the talk, has people have a renewed sense of importance around wellness, and I think hopefully have adopted more digital content, and I've seen that in our own app. I also have seen, since our gyms have reopened, that the content consumption in the app has gone down drastically, and I think as bricks and mortar open, people driving back into the club. I do think that at home or outside fitness is definitely a good supplement, but not a substitute. I think it's a way to get it in if you can't make it into the gym this day. And you know, certain parts of the country, or the world, depends on seasonality, whether it's cold out or it's too dark out. Here in the northeast of the U.S., it's it's pitch black here at 4 o'clock already. So people aren't doing anything outside. In some neighborhoods, in some neighborhoods that Planet go into are high crime rates that you can't walk outside at this noontime, unfortunately. And they use our Planet Fitnesses as a safe haven to be able to exercise in safety. So I think we play a bigger role in all demographics, nationwide and even worldwide in some ways in the future, to be an option for that. I do think, though, Planet in our app, we've now launched a lot of at-home options for people so that people can use the content not even in our club, but at their facilities or at their homes, rather. And the interesting thing is 20% of our content being consumed, and 1 million people with our app, 20% of people with our app are not even gym members of Planet Fitness. They're actually just utilizing our free content at this time. So it's great for our brand to be able to support people, even if they're not members, and to get our brand front and center.
Thank you so much, Chris. We have a question in the back of the room. There's somebody on an elliptical who wants to ask you a question.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. I actually started walking at the pandemic and have over 1,000 miles that I've walked. But I've been on this since yesterday. I was here 2.5 yesterday and 2.5 hours this morning. And thanks for having it, GWS. This is great. I hope I didn't interfere with anybody's meditation. But to that point, I'm a mental health professional and work with seniors. And we met at the last Breakers
Please
conference.
just ask the question.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
So my question is this. You made a comment about the 2 gentlemen coming in, 35 years old, however old they are. One stays, one doesn't. What's going to happen in wellness to address the issue of the one that doesn't? What kind of questions could we possibly ask to get people to stay, to make the decision, because it is to decide? Any thoughts on how to get people to decide to stay? Thank you.
Sure. No. Yeah, it's a good question, and I think the point I was trying to make is, when people join our facilities, whether they're a boomer or Gen X or Gen Z or millennial, male, female, what have you, we don't really understand as an industry why the person that left early didn't stay longer. So through learnings from the people that stayed longer, what journey did they take? Like, when somebody comes in, maybe we teach them how to use a treadmill, but maybe that's too boring. Maybe that's why that person didn't stay. But maybe people that look like that gentleman or that woman that, get them on elliptical, because I know if you get on elliptical like you're doing, you're going to like it, because boring walking, I walk every day. I don't need to walk anymore. I don't want to walk up steps. I do steps in my house every day. Elliptical is a different movement. Is it fun? So it's things like that, is how do we can recommend to somebody, we know you're going to like this and you don't even realize it, because we know 2 million other people that just like you took this journey. And maybe it's this sort of arm machine and this sort of leg machine that they really liked, and what pieces did they touch in the facility. And then maybe at-home fitness, with the app, for example, is maybe that same gentleman who joined and worked out in the club, but then went home and watched some of our videos and worked out at the house once a week. Now we can recommend somebody that joins like him, this is the journey you should take, because we know you're going to love it. And right now we all unlock our doors, the industry does, and we just kind of push them onto the floor. And unless you hire, a trainer for $50 an hour, $100 an hour, you don't really have any help or any guidance along the way.